Welcome to this bonus lesson, the humanness in empowering others. Empowering people sounds noble, but the truth is, it's deeply human, and that means it's often uncomfortable. When we release power and hand over ownership, our insecurities tend to rise to the surface. That's normal. That's part of being human and having weaknesses. But that doesn't mean we have to stay weak. That's also part of being human. We can always choose better and do better. Hopefully, after this lesson, you'll be inspired and equipped to choose and do better. Before we go any further, I want you to think about something. What questions or concerns have you wrestled with, either now or in the past, when it comes to empowering others? The releasing of power and authority to someone for a task or an important responsibility. Just hold those thoughts in your mind for a moment. Now, let's walk through the ideas in your participant guide together. Guide point 1 says, when someone decides to maintain all control and power, they have decided not to help people grow and improve an important project. That's a strong statement. And if you can presuppose that it's true, it leads directly to the next question. Am I willing to take the risk to empower people? Now think about it, because empowerment is a risk. As a leader, you're constantly weighing the cost and the rewards of empowering each person on your team. What might it cost you? But what would it make possible? Guide point number 3 asks the question, have you ever been hurt when empowering someone? If so, how did you initially react? And what has changed in how you deal with being hurt by others now? Did those experiences help you grow? Or did they cause you to pull back from taking risks? These are important questions that deserve honest reflection. In your guide, number 4 says, the only way you can be helped by those on your team is to be willing to be hurt. There's a kind of good news, bad news reality here. The good news about not empowering others is that they can't hurt you. The bad news is they can't help you either. Empowerment always involves vulnerability, and vulnerability is part of the humanness of leadership in equipping others. I want to pause here. If you're listening alone, take a moment to reflect. If you're in a group, pause the video or audio and discuss it together. This is too important to rush through. When you're ready, come back and we'll continue. Okay, let's look at guide point number 5. What are some of the main reasons leaders don't empower others? You may have covered this in a previous lesson, but it's worth revisiting. One of the biggest reasons is insecurity. When insecurity drives the leader, the ego takes over, leading to control, avoidance, or both. Another reason is a lack of confidence in the other person, which is really just another expression of the ego. Sometimes leaders believe they're the best at what they do, and if they're not careful, they project that belief onto others. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's subtle. Either way, it's frustrating for everyone involved. Another challenge is this. When you empower someone to do something you're really good at, they probably won't be good as you at first. That's normal, but the ego doesn't like that. It expects others to start where we are, not where they are. But remember, your real goal as an equipping leader is to help others become better at the things that you equip them for. And sometimes, if we're honest, they may even become better than we are. That's when the ego needs to stay at the door so we don't sabotage the process. Empowering others requires strong people skills and healthy relationships. And relationships can be messy. Equipping others can make them even messier. But as an equipping leader, your job is to let people mess their way to success. Give them time. Give them support. Treat them the way you want to be treated. That's the humanness of empowering others. There's an old proverb that says, "Without the oxen, the barn is clean, but much gets done by the strength of the oxen." It's true with people too. You can have peace, quiet, and everything done your way, but that means you're doing all the work yourself. When you wade through the mess and equip others, you accomplish far more together. So make a plan. Set the intention to become a world-class equipper. Follow the 6 steps in the 6 pillars of equipping others and grow in the skill and the art of empowering people.